All right, locker room. I was just watching that game, right? That Monday night game. And it was an interesting game because I got all kind of mixed feelings. You guys watched the game, I'm sure. You saw San Fran beat Carolina 20 not to 9. And the game, we were trying to find out if Carolina is for real. Are they a real contender? Or have they won this many games and really because they had won a lot of close games. I think like 5-1 in close games. But the games they've lost, they've gotten blown out. Didn't look so good. Tonight, didn't look so good. On one side, I saw a Carolina team that didn't look so good. I saw Bryce Young, who threw a couple of interceptions. On the other side, Brock Purdy threw 3 interceptions. Bryce threw 2. So it's quite a game to see 5 interceptions. And sometimes they're back-to-backs like that going on. So it was crazy sloppy. Both offenses were crazy sloppy. But I watched this game tonight, and I know I'll be talking to you guys Wednesday, and usually it's like Monday, Wednesday, Friday thing. But I watched this game here Monday night. I had to say something today, and I'm looking forward to us talking on Wednesday because there's a lot of things we can discuss. But I watched this game tonight with other interests, with other thoughts about this game. Let me tell you those other thoughts. First of all, when I'm watching Carolina, and I see Bryce Young threw 2 interceptions. I see Rico Dowdle rush for 38 damn yards against a San Francisco team that has nobody. Everybody is on a mass unit in the IR or the training room in San Francisco. They're finding guys off the street, and they held Rico Dowdle 38 yards. You do remember. What Rico Dowdle and the Carolina Panthers did to that Dallas Cowboys defense. When I see this, I see San Francisco backups. Fred Warner, Nick Bosa. All of their all pros. Everybody talking about, Mike Parsons. They lost 2 all pros. 2. Not 1, but 2. And they held Rico to 38 yards. I was so hot watching this Carolina Panthers team, which made me more hot at that Dallas Cowboy team that needs this win right now, that stunk up that game against Carolina when Rico called them out and said, bring your best man, and their best man let Rico Dowdle rush for over 200 yards in the San Francisco 49ers, with none of their best men held them to 38 yards. Now, move this forward to as we start grading and measuring and guarding Jerry Jones' decision to trade Micah and the moves he have made now to bring in Quinnen Williams. And what they just did to a Saquon Barkley held them to 22 yards. I'm saying I got so pissed watching Carolina tonight because they never should have been on the field with the Dallas Cowboys. But I also said, my God, how could you have had any kind of hope with that defense that was in Carolina that night? When this depleted defense can do that, how depleted was the Dallas Cowboys defense that gave them 200 and some yards rushing? That was my first thought as I was watching this game and studying this game. That's why I got to talk to you, because that pissed me off and ran me crazy, but also made me say, okay, Jerry, grace I extend thee. Grace I extend to thee. Because I guarantee you play Carolina, he doesn't rush for 200 yards with this defense, with this defensive line, with them two big boys putting the pressure up the middle of the field. I guarantee you he don't do it. In the other game I watched, the other team I watched San Francisco 49ers, and they put up, they look sloppy on offense also. But they won the game. Brock Purdy, I told you, threw three interceptions. But they won the game. Through Kittle and really Christian McCaffrey. They won the game. And I want to give my man Kyle Shanahan so much credit, because that's another thing. Kyle Shanahan take all these injuries, lose all of these players. Quarterbacks. Kyle Shanahan loses his quarterback. Not just these all-pro dudes that we're talking about on defense, but he loses his quarterback. He loses Christian McCaffrey. He has a Brandon Ayuk who won't even come to practice anymore. Just gave back $26 million. They put in to get back the $26 million they owe. He had 50 damn days to contest them taking back the $26 million. He said nothing. So Kyle Shanahan loses all of that, and still he has his team right in the hunt of things. And he still wins football games. I just don't think we give Kyle Shanahan enough credit for the job that he does continuing to find players. One more thing that came out of that game that we must also talk about. I posted this, and I see that people are giving me some interesting response. At the end of this game, Jauan Jennings got punched right in the balls. One of the DBs I think he was fighting with punched him right in the balls from Carolina. Later on, after the game, he went over and pushed him in the face and got a foul. Later on after the game, he waited after the game to go and do something because, as he said, I'm a seventh rounder. We're in a tight race. I can't do anything to hurt my team. I appreciated that he was able to restrain himself until after the game. And then he went over and got his piece. But, of course, they went back on that film and saw that punch. So now the question is, what happens to the player that punches the player in the balls? So I asked somebody, on Twitter, which would you have? Would you rather somebody spit on you or punch you in your junk? I thought about this for a while, man, but God darn, that's a hell of a question, man. Like, I understand most people are trying, they're saying, Michael, I'd rather have somebody punch me in my junk. I don't want to be spit on. That's disgusting. That's the lowest thing you can do to people. And all of that is true. That it is disgusting somebody spit on you. It's considered vile, and it's the lowest thing somebody can do to you because it makes you think they think the lowest of you. But let me just confess to those who are other than man. For somebody to swing back and come forward at any force and hit you in this area, this was a direct hit. They give you up to 5 minutes for getting it done in any fighting situation because they know the pain can last literally up to 5 minutes. I'm sorry. I'm going to weigh in on my decision on which would I prefer, to be spit on or to be punched in my junk. And given the amount of time that I'm going to have to deal in true agony and pain, I'm going to have to say I'd rather him spit on me. To give you up to 5 minutes. And sometimes that's not long enough to recover from somebody punching you in your junk and those things feeling like they're up here. You trying to get them get back down. Oh no, no. I know that vile, disgusting, spitting thing. It just sounds so horrific, and it's what it suggests too. It says what people think of you. I mean, you think that'll mean what? But when we really think about it, all these spit particles are in the ether, coming at us all the time. When people sneeze, they're spitting on you, but they're not doing it with the intent. They think so less of you. So that's why we say, you better not spit on me, because we're looking into the mind of what the person think of you. That's what made them spit on you. But I'd rather you spit on me, because I'll take how my junk make me feel for real over how I think you're thinking about me after you spit on me. You understand what I'm saying? I'm going to deal in the pain that is actual pain in my body. I would say no to that. Then there's manufactured pain that I make up in my mind because you created this act towards me that makes me think, oh, you think little of me. You know me. You don't even know me. You understand what I'm saying? That I just wanted to put a thought out about that. I said one last thing, but the one thing I forgot about that I want to talk about also from the San Francisco 49ers is how the Browns naming Shedeur Sanders starter today, which I'm surprised, but not overly surprised. Only surprised that he didn't play as long as he could. I'm sure the media was all over who's going to be named the starter. And you've seen 6 games, Dylan Gabriel starting, and you haven't seen the big plays up the field. And I want to say this too, guys, because I think Stefanski said something. He said, this system is built kind of for the thinking man. It's kind of how he put it. It's a thinking man's game. And it is. That West Coast system is a thinking man's system. It's a dinking dunk system. It's a pre-snap. You want to boop, 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 move the ball down the field. Shedeur talent is a big play talent. And he has a big play mentality. I can see where they battle. Stefanski and Shedeur from this sense. Not personal battles, but I can see where he's trying to fit Shedeur into this kind of quarterback. That's why Brock Purdy can beat out a Trey Lance. You see what I'm saying? Brock Purdy can process this offense quicker and get the ball to the open man. They're saying, we don't need your talent shoulders down. We need your talent shoulders up. Just discern and throw. Short throws, easy throws. Shedeur is a big play quarterback. He wants to take an opportunity to go upfield. And sometimes maybe even impatient. Dink, dunk. Even take the sack if you have to. Dink, dunk, get rid of the ball if you have to. But he'll try to hold on and make some things happen. I don't ever want to rob that big play out of him. Now what Stefanski's job is, or what the Cleveland Browns' job is okay, let me see if I can go find a system that fits Shedeur better than the system that we have, so we can put the system in for his talent. My first year in Dallas, we had an offensive coordinator, and I thought his system and my talent didn't work well. And then, after the second year, we went and got Norv Turner. for my third year, and I loved his system for my talent. Norv Turner was with me on draft day. We were trying to get to the Rams anyway and get in that kind of system, timing system. So sometimes it just works like that. But I think you see enough in Shador to go and say, let's fit this to your talent. Because I think they're doing certain things now. That's the optimal. If I could get this little West Coast offense, this little run, this little read zone offense, everything with the guy that has talent, oh my God, then you have something. Yeah, you still want him to be able to discern and decipher and get the ball out of his hands quick. Patrick Mahomes do it. But Patrick Mahomes also has that killer mentality. I'm not just going to dink and dunk all day. I'll buy time and hit you with a big play. Shador Sanders have some of that. Don't let your play, your offensive scheme lose that or make him stop using that. You got to come up with an offensive scheme that can bring the best out of him in that. You understand what I'm saying? I'm going to get out right now and let that go right there. But I'm going to tell you something, guys. We got a hell of a week of football coming up. We'll talk about this too Wednesday. But a hell of a week of football coming up. Man, Thursday, those Thursday games are going to be insane. Packers, Lions, Cowboys, Chiefs, and then you go in with Bengals, Ravens. What? That's going to be insane. And then I told you, Sunday, we're going to see Shador go up against those 49ers now. I'm going to see. 49ers had a great defense, played great today. I'm going to see what Shador can do against those 49ers. And I know he'll have a chance to win game 2, even against those 49ers, because that offense got to go up against Myles Garrett. And Myles Garrett holds a little battle in his mind with Nick Bosa. Even though Nick Bosa ain't there, won't take anything away from him. He'll still get it done. I'm looking forward to seeing Shador go up against the 49ers. And if he gets another win, all hell breaks loose. It goes from, do Shador remains to be the starter? If he gets this win, the question will go from, does Shador deserve to remain being the starter, to, is it time to go find us a new coach to bring the best out of Shador and use those draft picks we got coming up to get better in other areas? Jimmy Johnson, that's what he did our third year. He said that offensive coordinator wanted me to get rid of you, Michael. He said, but I'm going to get rid of him and bring in somebody that knows how to get you the ball. That's when he brought in Norv Turner. And we went on. Well, you know, we went on to win quite a few. Sometimes you gotta not look at the meal that was prepared, but look at the cook that prepared the meal and say, hey, ain't nothing wrong with the meat. If the meat was bad, everybody would have gotten sick. But now I gotta fix the cook. Nothing wrong with the quarterback. He comes up with a game and win this game, then we may have to start talking about the cook. And that's you, coach.